Welcome back again in the Tesla fanboy studio. Yeah, no, but today I will again try to explain to you guys what the difference between kilowatt and kilowatt hour is. So by now I realize that we have people who are just lazy. They know the difference, but they still mistype it. And then we have people who don't know better. They are confused by others, and they randomly type kilowatt or kilowatt hour based on what they see occur the most. And then you have some people who get the wrong spell check. Maybe they use iPhone, so it misspells it, you know. So why is this a problem? Well, it becomes a problem because, as I mentioned, you know, some people don't know how stuff works. For example, me, I don't have solar panels. I live in Norway. Solar panels in Norway is almost pointless because we have so much so much cheap electricity from hydropower. So whenever I see posts about, you know, solar panel system, and people talk about my 15 kilowatt hour system, I'm a little confused. What does it mean? Does it mean that they have 15 kilowatt hour batteries where they store the energy, or did they really mean that the system is 15 kWp, which is the peak power output for that one, you know? And I can imagine how it is for you guys when we talk about the new 62 kilowatt Leaf, or when you are charging at 350 kilowatt hours. You know, I just purposely used the wrong units here, so yeah, just to confuse you further. But by the time you watch this video, if you watch this video, the whole video, I'm pretty sure that you will understand more about how this works, and you will there's a high probability that from now on you will make less mistakes. So listen to Uncle Bjørn, listen to the Chiang Mai boy. Yes. Let's take a look at the kilowatt. All right, so kilowatt is power. Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain here. There was one guy here, he claimed that based on one of my tests, he said that no, you know, if you consume 1.6 kilowatt for 7.5 hours, you consume a total of 12 kilowatt. I was like, no, that's not how it works. So let me use another example here. If you have a piece of shit fossil car with 50 horsepower and you run that car for 10 hours, it doesn't mean that that shitty car has 500 horsepower. You see? Does it make any sense to you? You know? So what you can do is, in all the cases you see kilowatt, try to replace that with horsepower. And then, because anyone, even you, knows what horsepower is, you know? Many horsepower in one car means it's powerful. It can accelerate fast. Yeah. Many horsepower in a car doesn't mean that it can go very far. That doesn't have anything to do with it. And then let's look at the other case here, kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours is energy. Okay. So for example, when you have a big fat burger, it has lots of calories, lots of energy. But if you eat that burger, it doesn't make you strong, does it? And also when you exercise, you burn calories, you burn energy. You know, most people try to lose weight by burning calories, because actually, well, for you guys who don't know, well, you know this. Calories is stored as fat in your body, and when you are burning energy, you will discharge that fat, you will discharge that kilowatt hours, and then you reduce the weight of your body. So if I want to lose weight, can I just lift one heavy item, you know, high kilowatt, just one time? Oh, done. Yes, I lost 10 kilos. No, it doesn't work like that. So try to think about those things when you figure out, okay, is this kilowatt or kilowatt hour? Is this energy or power, you know? And again, when you see kilowatt hours, try to replace kilowatt hours with calories. So does it make sense? You know, when someone says, oh, this thing charges so fast, it charges at 350 kilowatt hours, whereas the other one charges slower, only 50 kilowatt hours. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, to try to teach you stuff, like in school, we have examples. So I will give you some examples, and then we'll run it through, and then let's see if you become smarter after this. So here we have a post on Tesla Owners Club Norway. Someone is bragging about 115 kilowatt. Yes, that's great. A small, if you want to nitpick, you need to have a space between the number and the unit. Yeah, it's a very common mistake, but I'm not going to take that battle. Otherwise, I'll be busy. And then of course someone said, well, is that a 75 pack? But there's been some recent speed upgrade, and then he said that he was getting 112 kilowatt hours the other day. So again, that is wrong. So you can say try to replace kilowatt hours with calories, and it doesn't make sense. You know, the 75 pack is 75 kilowatt hours. So the correct here is of course kilowatt. Next one here, let me see. Yeah, this is charging at BKK. So they were complaining about slow charging speed, and you see it, I highlighted there. Someone said he was getting only 0.3 kilowatt per minute. And again, there are two mistakes here, because he claims kilowatt. It would make more sense if he said kilowatt hour per minute, but he said kilowatt per minute. And kilowatt per minute, power per minute, is not the unit. Yeah, so it should be kilowatt hour per minute. Yeah, that's the correct one. Next case, someone is wondering about how much capacity the car has total. So you've been driving. Okay, this is another topic. You have to drive continuously without stop. This he probably did it over several days or whatever, but that's okay. But you see, it says there right on the screen 34.7 kilowatt hour, but he still managed to type 34.7 kilowatts. So is this just a noob mistake? He was lazy? I'm not sure, but again, the correct one is kilowatt hours, because we're talking about energy. We're talking about calories. How much energy, calories the car has to burn, you know, before it's empty, something like that. All right, next case here. Let me see. This is about Bjørn. Bjørn, they recently raised the price, so we have lots of these cases. So well, I should have highlighted more. It was actually 31.32 kilowatt hours, and not kilowatt per hour. Again, the same mistake. Very common to do, to just add the slash there, because the slash basically means divided by. Just like when you have kilometers per hour, it's the kilometers divided by the hours. So in that one, of course, you have to say kilometers slash hours, yeah, for speed. This one is funny. Okay, the BMW 5 Series. There was this car that was been rebuilt, an M5 with 720 horsepower. And then they talk about kilowatt hours. In okay, the first one is correct, 45 kilowatt hours. That's the energy, of course. And then someone says, well, the BMW had a 90 kilowatt 3 Series, and 90 kilowatt is about 120 horsepower. So again, try to replace kilowatt with horsepower. Does it make sense? No. So it should be kilowatt hours. Okay, next case here, very common case. Leaf Group, we have 62 kilowatt. Again, no, the car doesn't have 100 horsepower. It has oh wait, did they increase it? It was 150 at least, yeah. So again, it should be kilowatt hours. Kona, wow, this is awesome. So 300 kilowatt, wow, you've been pulling some massive power there. But of course, it should be kilowatt hours here. Okay, next case, we're talking about Fortum, and again, they talk about, well, I think this was also Grønn Talk discussion. So paid 25 NOK for 30% of 27 kilowatt. No, it's 27 kilowatt hours, because when you pay, most places, you pay for energy you spend at this charger, not the power, but it depends again. Well, next case, again, same 62 kilowatt, very common here, should be kilowatt hours, yes. Okay, next one here, this is a slight, okay, maybe it's nitpicking, but when it comes to consumption, okay, it needs a space between the number and the units. It says 150 watt hour, it should be watt hour per kilometer, because watt hour is just the energy. You have to also say per kilometer, yeah. And of course, another nitpicking is that watts is expressed with an uppercase W, not a lowercase. Lowercase w is something else. But again, you know, if I try to fight that battle, then it's a lost battle. And then another guy says, okay, below there, it says that he has 214 kilowatt as average. Whoa, holy shit, you've been hammering hard. If you average 214 kilowatt on your S85D, that means most of the time you're hammering at full speed, you should be put in jail for that. No, just kidding. Okay, next case here. Let me see, what was this? Again, Tesla, yeah, Superior. Okay, so 75D. And then in 2 years, he's been averaging 2 kilowatt per mile. In Norway, we use that term mile, which means 10 kilometers. Okay, if you average if you only, your power output is only 2 kilowatt, then you're basically hypermiling. Yeah, even when a hypermile, I average 3 kilowatt. Yeah. Okay, so you know, I just list all these cases just to show you how big of a problem it is. It's really massive. I see this every day. I only collected for a week and I only saw the tip of the iceberg. So this is the case where I get a little bit confused. So it says, okay, this is in the Powerwall, Tesla Powerwall something group. And they say the 350 kilowatt panel system. At first I thought, huh? 350 kilowatt? That sounds like a lot. And then when I start reading, hey, wait, we have 26 panels. It means it must be 315 watts each panel. If you do the math, it would be 8.9 kilowatt system. Yeah, so that makes sense. And then the next area is also in the solar group. It says 14.9 kilowatt hour system with 3 Powerwalls. But the Powerwalls, they have 13.5 kilowatt hour each. So actually 3 Powerwalls combined would be about 40 kilowatt hours. So this should be KWP system, yeah, not this one. So I guess I'm smart enough to figure out this, but other people might not be. And then this one is funny. So wow, it's like, oh, it's been 6 months waiting now, and today on the 21 megawatts produced milestone, and you can see the comment. It's like, holy shit, 21 megawatts. That's massive. No, but it was megawatt hours. So big difference. It's huge difference between energy and power. Yeah. Okay, and this one. Yeah, it's a taxi driver who drives a Kia e-Niro. I'm not gonna say who that is, but he says, my consumption is 1.3 kilowatt per 10 kilometers. This is a weird unit, but because Norwegians, they use mil. So of course it's kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. This one, okay, we have consumption numbers again, and these guys might be a little bit lazy or something, but the consumption is of course 400 watt hour per kilometer, not 400 kilowatt. If you if you have a 400 kilowatt output, then you're hammering really hard with your caravan. So yeah. Okay, and then this is I don't remember in the context here, but again, kilowatt/hours is incorrect. It should be kilowatt hours. Yeah. Okay, next case here, we have something about, oh, this one. You see, this is where it gets tricky for some people who are not that experienced in EVs. They will be confused by this. So it says more than 100 kilowatt. That is correct. Of course, missing a space between the number and the unit. But then if you say, okay, if you see that one that I highlighted, so, or it says, if you drive 300 kilometers, okay, at the correct, good, kudos with that, except the missing space, 4 hours. So he did the math, yeah, 300 kilometers times, that's right, but it should be 45. Well, actually, you know what, you can look at that in several ways, because actually, if you drive 300 kilometers at no, it's not correct. I forgot. It's not correct. You need to know the speed, because you can in fact calculate the average power if you know the speed and the consumption. If the speed was 100 kilometers per hour in this case, then you can take 100 kilometers per hour times 150 watt hour. That will be 15 kilowatt average. But this one is clearly a mistake. He meant kilowatt hours. And then he says that at 100 kilowatt, you will replace that 45. No, it's not right. It's not right. Yeah. So, okay. This one is somewhat severe because I can accept that private people, they make mistakes, but we have a company with a mistake, and that is not good. Das ist nicht good. Nein, ist nicht good. The company is making a mistake. Okay. So we have Grønn Kontakt. They made a mistake. They say you charge for whatever, and you're 38.12 kilowatt per T mat. That the T is hour, yeah. So they should fix it right away so they don't confuse more customers. All right, we're just halfway now. Okay, now we have consumption again, and then we have consumption is watt per kilometer. Again, mistake should be watt hour, and still missing the space between units. It's very random because he did do the correct one. Is 2.5 meters. That one you have a space there. Okay, and here we have some charging speed and a Tesla. And then it says 75 kilowatt per hour battery. Again, mistake. Right, what's this one? Okay, Nissan Leaf Group. Yeah, if you only have 40 kilowatt in your Leaf, then your Leaf is not very fast. Nein, ist nicht schnell. Okay, let me see what else. Ampere E Group. Okay, now this is a little bit nitpicking from me again, but just to show you the severity of this problem. So they are complaining about cruise control, and when you tap the cruise control, it goes 2 kilometers per hour. Again, missing space between unit and number, and then missing that /hour. Yeah. Again, very common. Nissan Leaf 64 kilowatt version. Okay, keep scrolling. The trip to Nyland. Okay, they're complaining about very expensive price in Denmark, and they say that 400. This is probably Danish krone even. Yeah, for 40 kilowatt, it should be 40 kilowatt hours. Yes. And then Leaf, okay, 40 kilowatt again. Yeah, just keep scrolling. Okay, e-tron. So e-tron, this guy's been driving 6,000 kilometers, and they say 2.5 kilowatt per meal. Yeah, meal again. Meal is 10 kilometers, so no, it should be 2.5 kilowatt hours. And then the battery is 95 kilowatt hours, not 95 kilowatts. Right here we have, who is this? I don't remember the context here. Maybe you guys could figure out. But again, the charge rate is 100 kilowatt, not kilowatt per hour. Yeah, you can try to discuss with me. Just try me. This is not a correct unit. Or some of your other guys can also help me reply, because there might be massive replies there about people who think they know better. Yes, but you don't know better than, not me, but the community. Yes, the community always knows better than you. Yeah. Okay. Here we have Tesla Owners Club Norway again. Well, this is funny because we have someone asking, hey, you know, this is weird, and he said that, yeah, he drove 118 kilometers with a consumption of 26.3 kilowatt hours. It's almost correct, except that in Norway, you actually use comma as a fraction. What do you call it? To show fraction. So the dot here is for English, and then comma is for Norway. So it's almost correct, but again, I'm nitpicking. So he claims that 26.3 kilowatt hours was 29%, and he wasn't sure if that's correct. It sounds weird to him. And then this guy tried to explain that no, the battery is 100 kilowatt per hour, and then I said, and then I have to correct him and say, no, that is not correct. No. So of course my answer is correct. I'm always right. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right, and then this guy, I think this is again they're discussing Grønn Kontakt after the Grønn Kontakt raised the price. So there's been some discussion about it. This guy charged 47 kilowatt hours, of course, not 47 kilowatt. And then how much was it? And blah blah. Yeah. And this one is funny. We have firmware update nowadays on Teslas, increasing the speed, the power, charging speed. You can almost say horsepower. Well, it doesn't make sense when you charge, but it's actually it's charging power. And of course, firmware doesn't allow you to suddenly have 138 kilowatt hours in the battery. Yeah, and again, missing a space and not using the right case, all that. Yeah. So many mistakes here. Okay, we have Renault Zoe Group. Yeah, so again, but this one I can almost, okay, it's okay excuse. Maybe it's a noob or something, but it's supposed to be 24 kilowatt hours, not 24 kilowatt. Yeah, on the Zoe. And the next one, Leaf Group again. Leaf people, they're not very educated. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I get so many hate comments now. I could also say that the e-tron users, they are not very educated. Yeah, especially the Porsche users. The Porsche users, they are the worst. So again, wrong units here. They have kilowatts per hour. No. And 2 mistakes in 1 screenshot. That's headshot, right? Yeah, 40 kilowatt, again, the wrong one. Okay, last one here for now. So we have Kona. He's a very happy user with the Kona, you know, celebrating. We're going on a, well, not celebrating, but just went on a road trip. Really happy with how it performs. It doesn't surprise me. It's an awesome car for long trips. But then they also tested Ionity station, and this is where it can confuse some people, because this person said 77 kilowatt hours, you know, was really fast. And for you guys who don't know, hey, what is it? Oh, does it mean that you charge 77 kilowatt hours and it went really fast? No, the peak power was 77 kilowatt. Yeah, that's what the charger reported. But what the car gets is in fact about 70 kilowatt hours. I have solid proof. I have video proof. We can make another video about that, because that's another different topic. You get a little bit of sneak peek now that e-tron, Tesla, at least e-tron and Tesla, they show the charging speed inside the car, and that charging speed is after the charging loss between the charger and the car, whereas Kona, e-Niro, e-Soul, yeah, those cars, they show the charging speed inside the car, but they show the charging speed that the charger reports to them. Yeah, but okay. Anyway, I think that's it. Hopefully now when you have watched, hopefully you have watched through the whole video. I don't expect this to get many views. Again, I expect about 10,000 views, yeah, based on this topic, based on past videos. But at least if I can help 10,000 people to understand how the what the heck? Who's calling me? Shit! But anyway, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.